Okay, travel experts, let's talk about what people may not know about travel and need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have some kind of lounge pass, priority pass through your credit card, you're wasting money at the airport. Free drinks, free food, nice place to hang out, great Wi-Fi to get some work done or just relax and use.
All right, lounge passes. Janine.
That's a great idea. So if you work through a travel agency, we have 24-hour service. So around the world, we can help you. If a flight's canceled, you need to rebooking, or you just need help, we're there for you.
That's great. Okay, we are talking travel. This is the Better Business Bureau. I'm Joe Ducey, and this is Joe Knows Better. All right, joining us now, the founder of FeMavin Travel Girls Getaway, Jazmin Cornejo.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Jazmin. And Janine Joseph, president of Kahala Travel.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, both in San Diego, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
But both do business outside of that area as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I know that you have a niche business. We'll talk about that, Jazmin, in a minute. Travel's big right now, all right? And I want to talk to you because you have agencies, but a lot of people are doing their booking online. Are there some things you think are fine to do online for consumers? And I'm going to get into what you can do for them as well as a travel agent. But Jazmin, let me start with you. Are there some things you think that are fine for people just to do on their own?
I mean, yes, I think we all naturally go to the internet to find things.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there are the third parties. You've got to take the risk of that falling out, but going straight to a hotel chain's website and just finding rates yourself there, or like a best rate or a special, it's really safe there because you're pretty protected there.
Okay, going to like a hotel website or an airline website too, like if a Southwest Airlines, book it through them.
I do. I always try and directly through the airline. I'll use Google Flights to start, but then I'll go there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And Janine, what do you think? Do you think that people can do, I know that you have a travel agency and it's more supportive of people. Are there some things you think people can do on their own if they're trying to save a little money?
Yes. If they have confidence in the destination, they've been there before, they're visiting family members, they know that Southwest is the only airline that goes there, then they can just, look up Southwest and go directly, or they know the hotel they want, or they know the destination well. There's a lot of people in San Diego that, for instance, travel to Hawaii quite frequently, so they know Hawaii well. So I think they could have confidence, especially like Jazmin said, if you go directly to the sites themselves.
Okay. All right. So those are some things they can do. Are there some deals that are out there now? Are there some places to go that maybe people haven't thought about because they go to the traditional places all the time that are kind of hidden a little more? I don't know if one of you wants to take that or...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he's hidden anymore because he used to be smaller, but like Scott's Cheap Flights, he is a great resource. I mean, he's all over the news now, and he really does kind of flag those. But there's lots of others like him that are helping you hack business class flights, helping you hack first class, helping you hack your credit cards to get to these kind of experiences. But they offer a lot of outside travel tips because if you have an American Express that has the great travel benefits, there is a great resource there for it.
Okay, Janine.
Well, we find that it's the opposite of people think about value or cheap trips or whatever. That we find that you book early. Very early. You get your choice of what you want. You get the seats or the cruise cabin or whatever you want. And the promotions are usually really good. And then we track those. And so if the prices do go down during the 18 months you booked or whatever, we will track that and make sure you get that. So it's advantageous to always book early. It's like
book early. Win. Okay. How early? A month? 2 months? A year? Are you talking?
On flights, if you're doing Europe, for instance.
I guess you can't do a flight, can you?
Yeah, you can't do a flight more than 330 days or so. We look at them more like 6 to 8 months out, especially if it's business class. But I think in domestically, 2 months is good, but you need to have at least a week or so because that's when the flights start to really go up.
And if you're Joe Ducey, you're always checking to make sure that the price hasn't gone down because then you rebook.
Yes.
Yes. And you save $50 or whatever it is. It's like $10, I may not go there, but $50 is worth it. And it keeps going down.
I'm always looking for the upgrades. I'm like, how can I get my way into first class for half the price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really, really, really interesting. Jazmin, let's talk about your business a little bit here. Yours is more of a niche business, and you deal with particularly what?
So I do group tours for women specifically. I do small groups and private for women as well, or girls trips, bachelorettes. But the niche of kind of what makes me special, I guess you could say, is I do multi-day tours with groups. So 6 to 8 women who don't know each other come to me, arrive day one, and it's exploring a destination together while getting to know each other and bonding and finding new friendships.
The stories you could tell.
I mean, the stories
In fact,
that
we
the
want to hear
walls
them.
could talk, yeah. I always say, if they're looking to connect with the culture, connect with each other and have a ton of fun. That's really the space that I'm in.
So what do you do? So do you pick the locations? Are they around here or wherever the people are? Could they come from?
So a little bit of both. It's where do I want to go? I mean, naturally.
And you're with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm with them as a host.
Okay.
I found there was this niche in the world where there was women who didn't have the friends, the communities, the families to go see the world, and they were too afraid to go solo.
Yeah.
I've been to 19 countries by myself, and so it was like, how can I help facilitate these women seeing the world, especially if their husband had passed away recently divorced, they've had kids early on, and they've never seen the world, but they want to. So I take women all over the world.
And these aren't just, did you say day trips as well?
I do a day trip, yeah.
Okay.
So being in San Diego, I do a special trip to the Valle de Guadalupe, just because I know it well. It's about 2 hours from San Diego proper, I guess you could say. I walk us across the border. I have private driver. We go wine tasting all day, eat at Michelin-style restaurants, also eat at taco shops, and then we come
Janine
home.
and I are getting very thirsty.
Yes, I love that area. I was going to say wine.
Yeah, wine too. I mean,
Yeah.
lots of wineries, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Okay. So you do that, and the women again?
Yeah.
And it could be groups, it could be, or can you put people together? Like I have 3 here and 3 here, we're going to do 6?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I do like private tours as well. And that's just naturally they come to me for birthday parties, bachelorette parties, even girls trips specifically. I've had a few couples come through, which I never say no to. It's just not the way I market myself. But yeah, the secret sauce of what I do is the group tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And FeMavin, you are a BBB accredited business, and you also were part of the program here.
I was a part of the accelerator program here not this last cohort, the one right before it.
Okay. Yeah. How was that? How did you only give us the good stuff?
Yeah. I would never. The person who runs it, Sam, is just like a golden heart. She's the best person ever. She's amazing.
Sam's wonderful.
Yeah. It honestly, for being a business owner, and I would say I'm pretty good at navigating this world, but it just really helped clarify some of those questions you have in business so you didn't feel like you were doing it alone, taking you through branding workshops, taking you through tech and operations, and having, big partners to kind of help you through it, even to the point of having business coaches as part of it, and then also just like building a network. I'm still close friends with the people I had in my small group, and we still
and that's
connect
important.
With each other. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely world, and so that gave you a community. Yeah.
How hard was it to get loans for your business? Did you need those, I guess, to get started, or no?
So no, I think that's the uniqueness about service space is that we don't have big loans that we need out there in the world. But I have pitched myself a few times and won money a few times, and that I mean, you just got to be brave enough to step up and do it. But yeah.
Okay. And Janine, Kahala Travel, you're also a BBB accredited business.
Correct.
Yeah. That's great. And how long have you been doing this? And I bet you've seen some changes.
Yes, we have. The agency is about 37 years old
Okay.
now.
So
for a while.
80s, 90s. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I joined them about 25 years ago. And it's just different. We're a brick and mortar, which is not...
which I love.
Which has become not as typical. Yeah. There's a lot of travel advisors that work from home now, work remotely, so they may book their travel through a host agency. Mm-hmm. We have 10, 12 employees ourselves, but then we also have 32 independent contractors who do run their business through us. So we're a big family, and
you've seen some changes from before the internet, I guess. Actually, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before people were booking all the.
It changes where we just were commission only.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the history of travel agencies is when they did charge fees, and they charged a fee to book cruise passages or whatever, and then it left to commission only, and airlines paid commission, cruise lines, everyone paid commission. The day that everybody got the Delta fax was the terrible day that when commissions went away.
Everybody's laughing at Delta fax. I don't even know what that is.
It's just that famous fax.
Oh, okay.
And, of course, once Delta said we're not doing it, then all the airlines. So then at that point, we start thinking, well, who are we?
Yeah.
We slowly started charging fees, mostly for air. But now, really through COVID, we developed a vacation service plan or a fee plan because we found out how valuable we were, and that we've changed our names. We're no longer travel agents; we're travel advisors.
Okay.
So we consult all day long, and we give advice.
And you charge for that. Okay. So you charge a fee.
And clients are happy to pay for it because it makes it more of a business relationship now. Not you're doing me a favor. It's more of that. So.
What value? Why would people come to you?
I think they come because of value.
What are they seeking? Are they seeking guidance?
They are. Personalization of a trip is important to them. We talk a long time about what their goal is. What do they want from this trip? What do they want to see and do? And then who's going and what's the dynamics and what would you like? And then we talk about budgets and then we talk about a style, travel style, and then we just customize it. Even people who love to book their own travel have learned to use us. I've had a husband and wife team. Women like to book their travel. So I've had a husband that wants to use me, but the wife is not happy about this. But I share with them, listen, we're going to do this together as a team. I'm going to do a lot of research for you. And then I'm going to give you 5 or 6 ideas, and then you're going to pick them with me. And they love that because what happens is they do the research, they see it, and they're not confident to book it or confident to put their credit card in a website that's going across the world. I mean, they're real nervous about that, where we put that confidence back in that I'm taking responsibility.
So can they come to you and say, I would like to go to a tropical location, and and maybe not any place particularly. Is that fairly common, or they say, I want to go to Hawaii?
No, they'll say, sometimes they're not in the same hemispheres. I'm thinking about Tahiti, but maybe Greece.
Oh.
And to me, they're like
Pacific and
right. And so we have to really narrow it down to that area. Some people are all over the map. Some are very specific, but they're all over. And I also know that not a lot of people know their geography very well at all. So you're explaining to them that you really can't do all those things in 7 days. You just can't do it.
And is that where travel agent comes in pretty handy, like putting segments of trips together?
Yes. And again, people who even like to book their own travel, some will call when the first thing they say, I can't wrap my head around this. And then what they're saying is, I've got 25 family members all want to go on this cruise, but there's no way I can figure this all out together. And I can't do all their air. They're all come from different cities. And we can do this easy because we do this all the time.
Okay. All right. And so what's a place that people want to go now? Are there places that you are sending people?
The last 2 or 3 years, it's Italy. But my Australian tourism board says, well, why do you send them to Italy? It's the same distance to Australia from the West Coast. And I didn't think he was right, and he's right. So it can't be distance. But
okay, so
Italy, France, anything Europe.
Does that mean the prices have gone up in Italy?
Yes.
Okay.
It was good right during COVID and right after COVID, but now they've caught up to that. But I think they do that, and they do still we're doing still do a lot of Alaska, obviously.
Alaska,
a little closer to home.
Would for the experience in Italy, is there any? Again, I don't know if you can duplicate that. Is there any other place people could go where it would be less expensive, but you could kind of still get that feel? There are places in Europe that are cheaper.
There's a lot of substitutes. What we're working on are people who have been there, like been to Rome or been to Tuscany, but not send them to Tuscany again where it's busy, but send to Piemonte or somewhere. Like I just went to Italy, and I spent my whole time on the Puglia area on the Adriatic coast. No one was there. There was no crowds.
So it's cheaper there too.
It's less expensive, and it was a very great experience. But I was in Italy, so you get that. So we're trying to do that mixing and matching. Like instead of this area, go here, but it might be in the same country.
Got it. Okay.
Trying to do that. That was a big talk this year about how we can do substitutions because of the crowd.
Yeah, the crowds are wild.
It's
summertime.
You see the same thing?
Yeah.
Jazmin?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you now with with these women trips? Do you go on the trips with them? Do you ever set up trips and they go on their own? Or are you always part of it?
No, I like private group tours. They go on their own, so I run the logistics for them.
Okay.
But I'm more boutique on the smaller side. But when I go with them, but I'd say in my industry and with my crowd specifically, they're wanting to go a little bit adventurous. So maybe Jordan, Egypt, Antarctica, Bali, areas like that. I mean, they still love Italy, but I feel like Italy for young women, they feel like they can book themselves and just go adventure by themselves.
Okay. Now in Egypt and Jordan, do you feel, are there safety issues that you're always concerned about? Do you bring them to certain places? How do you?
I think there's safety issues everywhere you live in the world and everywhere you are in the world.
Yeah.
So I always say, don't lead your trip with that. Lead with the fact you're fine, and just specifically when you're going to areas like that, you're definitely going to want a travel advisor, travel concierge, minimum tour guides to lead you into like the safer areas. And if I always say, go with your gut. If it feels sketchy, don't turn right.
Yeah. Okay. And you set those things up. You set those guides up and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the all-inclusive group tours come with all of that. But I work with partners on the ground there. I can't know everything everywhere. Yeah.
Now, do you get better deals sometimes because you're a travel agents than people might be able to get just if they call on their own?
Yes. Yes
there.
and no. I mean, generally, we see the whole picture. And again, like she said, we have travel partners that are in country or there. And so we are working within that. So we, especially on the VIP side, we have so much ability to just upgrade them to everything and have this whole big great experience that they never even thought of. But even on the value side, certainly some of our signature hotels around the world come with breakfast, come with $100 food and beverage credit, come with a spa treatment. Well, you're not going to get that if you just booked it directly. So we have those value added because our travel suppliers work with us and know who we are. And so those relationships really help.
Okay, and Jazmin, I have to ask you about the trips where people don't really know each other. Yeah. Do you have? I don't know. There are probably stories you can't tell, but are there stories that you can tell that are kind of interesting? And do people make friendships there?
Yeah. I mean,
is there ever like
I mean, I'm really lucky that everyone has really gotten along at the end, and I've definitely seen best friendships forge and them continue to travel and be friends with each other. I want to book with me again and travel together. So they might have not known each other and they want to come back with me again. And they kind of become like almost like a cult following, I guess you could say, in terms of wanting to travel with us. But I think what's special about this industry is the women who do what I do in this industry, we lean on each other a lot too. So I might not have Antarctica next year, but I know one of my travel partners does. So I'm happy to send someone to her because in the end, it's about my clients. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not going to Antarctica for 5 years. Can you hold on for that trip? Like, go with them and come back.
Are there places, I guess two things. Are there places you've seen that maybe people don't know about that you think, boy, this is just really cool and you guys may want to experience this? That, and also, is there a place that's like less expensive that you think is good? Maybe not, the cat's meow.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave my age there, but it's, but something, maybe both those things.
Vietnam for me has a really special place in my heart. You can travel at a really high-end luxury level for really affordable amounts. The culture is kind. They are so welcoming. The food is to die for. And really high-end hotels that we've had presidents stay at. Vietnam has a really special touch to it.
Cambodia next door.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and putting those trips together, and you can get out in the rice fields, but you can also go cave diving, but then you can also go to a 5-star restaurant and eat in luxury and put on a really nice outfit, and you can do it really affordably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the best of both. Places you've discovered. What about anything that comes to mind?
Well, what's the growing segment right now is expedition, active and adventure type travel. And active, it doesn't mean you're diving off a cliff. But
although you could.
Yeah, you could. But it's mostly expedition cruising.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've just put out 20 new expedition ships in the last 10 years, cruising. Icebreaker ships and stuff. So a lot of people are trying to do the two poles. If they've done it all, they want to do the Antarctica or the Arctic.
Yep.
Okay.
But you can also do something a little different, not as expensive, but you can go do polar bear watching like in Canada, and that's not that hard to do here in North America.
Yeah.
And look at the Northern Lights. There's certain trips like that just are easy to do, but they're wow trips and they're once in a lifetime. Tomorrow I'm going to be booking some cruise for 26. It's the total eclipse, when people want to do that. And those aren't all that expensive or whatever, but they're wows and stuff.
So you do see adventures. That's what people really are going for now.
It's growing very much so.
Okay.
And it can be soft adventure, or where I think where people, especially expedition ships, is where they want to learn something. So just like when you are the leader on your group, you're teaching them, you're showing them, you're leading taking them. People want to have scientists on board.
Yeah.
They want to have geologists and different people, and they want to learn. So they go out in the Zodiac and they see these animals. They want someone explaining to them. Or if they're interested in photography, they want a photographer. Yeah. So all of these types of trips now are including these experts with them or guides, and that's what makes it special. It's always the guide. The guide makes it all.
Yeah.
Do you do anything much in this country, in the U.S.?
Yes,
travel?
Quite a bit.
Are they very specific? I want to go to New York City. I want to go to wherever, Seattle, or are there places in the country that are also kind of hidden gems?
Yes. I mean, I'm finding out more. One of my clients said, I'm off to such and such hotel, and I had to go look it up, and it had been number one in the country. I didn't even know that. But
gotta know where it's at now.
Yes. National parks were very popular during COVID and right now, and they still are. And there's still a lot of the hotels are sold out.
They're fairly good deals still too in some national parks.
Sometimes they get crowded and sold out, but
you're prepared to waiting in a lot of lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
But towns like Charleston and
Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes, a lot of
Savannah.
Savannah. Okay, so those are good,
Raleigh,
good feel places, but also you can get it for maybe a little less.
Yeah, even
possibly just good experiences.
Even Austin, there's this hotel Lake Austin and different areas around that area, and there's nonstops out of San Diego 6 times a day in Alaska. I mean, it's very easy to get to back.
See, so you know that stuff that people typically don't know.
Yes,
that
people do come to you and ask you for ideas.
Yeah.
And because they don't really know their geography or whatever, or they haven't traveled east of the Mississippi, and there is a whole other world back there.
Yeah. Okay. We had mentioned before about points. That's a big part of travel right now, and I think a lot of people are, I know my kid's one of them who puts a lot of debt on his card trying to get points, and then has maybe trouble paying it back.
Yes,
but
definitely don't suggest that part of it.
So lounges and points. So what you think? Are there some that are better than others? How would you use these? And then we'll go into lounges.
I was like, I don't want to call myself an expert at all, but I have tried to learn it. Yeah, because it's very complicated. Okay. But I would just say if you are looking at a credit card, and depending on how much you travel, to definitely consider one that's very travel focused. And I personally don't suggest the one specific airlines unless you're going like back and forth for home or business. I would look more at like a Chase Sapphire or like a bigger card that's going to have perks that sit
for
across
all the
multiple hotel chains, multiple airlines. There's lots of people out there that are educators on this, and it's incredible what you can do. In travel lounges, even when hotels like breakfast credits, and it's not ever necessarily your big vacation trip. It could just be on your quick trips you're trying to do, little weekend trips. It can help save money so you could eventually afford your bigger trip rather than,
And now the travel lounges are coming up everywhere. And you have to have a certain card for that. They probably, I try to get it with the free card, but they don't, it's like at least $150 or whatever for, right? I mean, it's usually that kind of thing. What does it offer?
Oh gosh, it's great. Well, it's, the lounge itself, does it offer?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
get away from the country.
They have alcohol, right? There's a beer or wine.
Get away from the crowd. Clean restrooms and then showers sometimes and things like that. Especially like I was in the London one for 7 hours this year. So grateful for that.
Massages.
And they check you in, so they know your flight, and so they'll announce a flight for you, or if it's delayed, they'll announce that for you, come get you, whatever. So. You just have confidence. You're sitting back there waiting.
Who would use those? I mean, typically I'm in and out of an airport pretty quickly, but are these people who have like big layovers? Is that and their connections and segments?
Yeah,
definitely layovers.
And international, you have to get there so much earlier that if it's a good airport day, you are literally sitting around an airport, and if you need to eat lunch and food, all of a sudden you've spent $150, $200, depending on the size of family and groups, where you go into the lounge and get most of what you need in there. Okay. Also, maybe get a massage, lay over. You can get a shower.
Massage,
man.
Like there's healthier crazy.
Food. Yeah, and healthier food.
In the Chase Sapphire Lounge, you get a massage.
Coffees in the morning, breakfast. Yeah, it's a true perk. But even in the hotel world, it kind of sits over into that world. So getting you upgrades and just getting a little bit more respect when you check in.
All right, so we're going to almost wrap it up here. We've been talking for a while. It's gone by quickly. Let's talk about, lastly, a couple of things. One more time, just some things that people may not know about what you do, a travel agent, and what you experience you can give them. Why choose you, and why choose a travel agent to book travel?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say logistics with groups is hard, right? People traveling from different destinations, also the different personalities. And so when I'm doing group travel and it's not necessarily like one person's idea, I'm taking in everyone's ideas to make sure I've planned a trip that everyone's going to enjoy with like a group of friends specifically, to where someone doesn't feel like, wow, I just spent a lot of money and I hated everything. We didn't do adventure like I wanted to. All we did was eat and drink the entire time, whatever that might look like. So really taking in, also helping with for me, the payment side, because in my group trips, it's one lump sum with me. And so it can help break down payments. So they're not having to put all the money forward, to where I'm helping manage the money between the friends, because that's a really awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Or the Venmos at the end of the trip. I paid for that dinner and I paid for that. I kind of become their banker. Right. I become their banker. So that takes a lot of that, that weird conversation between friends, so they can truly just enjoy it.
All right. And the name of your business again?
It's FeMavin Getaways, Modern Girls Getaways.
And the website is?
The website is FeMavinGetaways.com. Instagram is at FeMavin.Getaways.
And that's FEM?
FEMAVN. So Fem and Maven.
Okay. That's great. And Janine, what about you? I guess the same question.
I think it's the personalization that we can do for people, just a customization, personalization for their trip. And so we spend so much time just getting to know the client and what their needs are. And it could be as simple, just simple things. It could be a simple airline ticket, but even to us, that's important to give them the best seat, the best value, the best time, the best connections and such. And then we do everything. We're full service, so we don't have a particular area. We do our significant amount of cruises, but we do a lot of tours. We do personal trips. We do corporate travel.
Okay.
We have some good. So, and if I haven't been there, some of my staff has been there. So we have so much.
So you can talk about your experiences and what you might encounter.
Destination information. Just as before, I was coming here, somebody said, "Who has done the baths in Budapest before?" And I go, "Amy has." And then down the hall they ask Amy, "What's the best place?" So this is the way we talk and share, and I think.
And Janine is with Kahala Travel. And what's the website?
It is kahalatravel.com.
Okay, and that's KAHALA travel.com.
Right.
Okay, that's great. And so the points, important, because you can get some good perks there. The lounges. What else we talk about? The travel agencies and the service and the ideas. And also maybe thinking about being open to ideas that maybe aren't the place everybody goes.
That and just you don't have to do everything. I think people have that misconception that we're planning their whole trip. Like, you could literally just call us to talk about one portion of your trip or how to start planning it or whatever it might be, rather than the full trip start to finish. Like if that's what they just needed some support on.
All right. That's great, lady. I really appreciate it. That is Jazmin Cornejo and Janine Joseph. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right. I'm Joe Ducey with the Better Business Bureau, helping businesses and consumers get it right. I'll see you next time.